right, cool. So it's Karacell here once again at the Summit Music Hall at glorious backstage, and we have got exclusive footage for you. We are here with Grant, right, from Underoath. Cool stuff. And so you guys are obviously supporting your new album, and which at our college, your new album is literally like, that's all we play, so it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's just all on rotation. So yeah, so I guess tonight should be really cool. So how's the tour going so far?
Really good, really smooth. This is the first like cold day, like really cold day, snow. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Everyone's getting along really good, and the shows have been, I think, better than everyone thought they were going to be, which is even, you know, it's everyone's stoked. Yeah, no big problems, which is always good.
Yeah. So I mean, with a winter tour like this, do you like anticipate a bunch of snow and stuff like that, or is it just kind of like, you know, it doesn't matter because you're not driving?
I think it's one of those things where it's kind of like, sorry, it's kind of one of those things where like, basically we usually take one bus on tour. We decided to take a different bus just because we felt our driver felt safer. But yeah, that stuff definitely comes into play. I know for Skylar Drive, they're driving around in an RV. So yeah, like I personally wouldn't feel comfortable driving a big vehicle in the snow, but having a guy that's professional do it makes it a lot better. Yeah.
So I mean, you guys are co-headlining with Thursday. What's that like? Like playing with a band like I mean, I'm a huge fan of Thursday. What is that like?
It's awesome. I've loved that band forever. Like I tell people all the time, I've been trying to get them on tour with us in the States for like 4 or 5 years now, and it's just never really worked out. We've done a couple international tours with them, like Taste of Chaos and stuff, but it's awesome that it finally worked out, and it's cool to see them play Full Collapse, because that's like a record that like I think more than the fact that it like impacted me, it definitely like I help kind of pave the way for bands like ours to be able to do what we do. Yeah.
So disambiguation, or little circle with the line through, difficult to type, but so how's the crowd responding to your new album?
Really good. I mean, I think it's I think a lot of people are coming out with kind of just like this is the first time we've seen you without Aaron for one, and just a new record and Spencer singing, so people are kind of like trying to take it in at first, but the overall response has been really good. You know, I haven't heard anything negative, which is awesome.
So, I mean, I know that me and the sound tech, we first got into your band with They're Only Chasing Safety, and awesome album, by the way. And so, how have you guys evolved from that? Because I know you guys got like 7 albums. How have you guys evolved to Disambiguation?
I got 7 years older. No, I think just writing what we love and just trying to challenge ourselves as musicians and songwriters, and just, you know, not doing the same thing twice. I think that's a big thing with us, and just trying to push our own limits. I think that's the biggest part. You know, I think that if you get in a spot of like comfort, and it's just you're not trying to create something new and fresh, then it's going to get stagnant, old to you, and which will in turn show to everyone else. Yeah. So I think for us it's just been a natural progression, you know, and I think obviously member changes and things like that play into it and stuff, but overall it's just the path that's kind of been laid out.
So, I mean, one thing that bands always say when you hit them with it, how have you guys changed? Do you feel like this is your best album so far, or?
I think so, definitely. I think I've had that question a lot lately, and I think that I have a hard time, because Define the Great Line was probably one of my favorite records that we've done, and this record is like, they're kind of like neck and neck for me. This one's newer, so it's more fresh to me right now, but yeah, I think that like all new records kind of are like your best work. They should be. If they're not, then it's kind of like, and I think it's cool. Some artists are like I think I read in John Mayer interview once, who's like, his new record is like, it's not my best work, but to us, I feel like it's the best that we could have done at the time. It's the best that we could do with what we had to work with. So yeah.
So I mean, what do you have to say to people who maybe have seen you guys on the Warped Tour playing Define the Great Line or something like that, who maybe haven't like caught up to you and kind of been in your new stuff? What do you have to say to them? Like, come on back, we're good.
Just check it out. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, if you like the old stuff and don't like the new stuff, that's awesome. If you like the new stuff, not the old stuff, that's awesome. I just think that, like, I want people to, you know, give it a chance, and if they like it, cool. If not, that's cool too. I'm not begging for people to, you know, buy it or check it out or listen to it because they liked this 6 years ago with another record. There's a lot of bands that I feel the same way about. So I think it's just give it a fair chance. And like if you enjoy it, awesome.
Okay. Fair enough. So I mean, what can we expect like stage show? I know you guys have a lot of energy on stage. Is it still the same thing, or can we expect like pyrotechnics or something crazy this time around?
No pyrotechnics. We try and incorporate different elements in the show. I think that our show is a big part of our band, always has been. I think that keeping it energetic is obviously something that we've just kind of naturally always done, and on top of that we try and like put a very intricate light show. We use some projection stuff and just some other elements to try and like make it more of like a special event, not just like, hey, I'm going to see this band play their songs and that's it, which is cool, but not, we're trying to like make it, like I said, more of like I'm going to see this show and not just I'm going to see this band play some songs.
Yeah. So I mean, I've definitely noticed since you guys kind of came out on the scene that there's been a lot of bands who are like, I don't know, like at the radio station I work at, we describe them as Underoath Junior. Like they all sound like your band. How would you respond to this? Like flattering, or is it kind of like weird?
It's like a double-edged sword to me. Like there's a lot of bands that I think it's awesome. Like they've come to me like, yeah, your band's been a really big influence and we like appreciate it. And it's like that's awesome. There's a lot of bands that I've kind of been like, it's kind of like a regurgitation of the same thing 100 times.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. But I mean, I think that's with anything, and I can't say that our band takes credit for that by any means, but I think that the fact that we were kind of successful, especially with like Chasing Safety and that element kind of breaking out into the mainstream to somewhat, you definitely have to take some responsibility for it. And it's just kind of, I think what we do now is just the same thing we did back then, is just try and promote writing good music and playing good music. I mean, it's not like an easy ticket, like here's the game plan, follow this and you're going to be successful. And I think a lot of bands try and do that nowadays. It just kind of sucks. It's like, write music that you love and challenge yourself and be happy, and like that seems to miss a lot of people.
So I mean, a few weeks ago in AP Magazine, Jeff from Thursday was quoted on saying that he made less than $10,000 last year. And I mean, that blew my mind, thinking, this dude who I love is making less than $10,000. I mean, I made more than that at a work-study job.
Yeah.
So, I mean, has Underoath felt the effects of, like, kind of this weird economy where kids aren't really buying stuff now? Or how do you guys combat that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's not a band that hasn't. Whether it's, you can even look at record sales, like the hugest artists ever, like Kanye West and whatever, they're selling, like, 200 to maybe 300,000 records instead of, like, 700,000, 800,000, I think like Taylor Swift's record broke 1 million was the first time since '05, and like that used to happen all the time. And I think even with touring and just it causes bands to be smarter and stuff. Like it's funny because people like meet fans and stuff and they be like, oh yeah, it must be awesome. You guys must be so rich and loaded. And like for the first half this year, I was making under minimum wage. Like our whole band was. Yeah, wow. Like we were writing. I mean, it's just kind of like being smart with what you got, and yeah, just trying to put in extra work and stuff. Like for this tour, especially for us, we've been setting up and breaking down the stage ourselves with the local crew at the shows, and just taking less crew out and just trying to do what we can do to kind of cut corners, and not cut corners and like making it less of a show, but putting more work on ourselves. Because you can definitely get in that. There's a couple of years where it's just like, oh, I'll just go up on stage and play, and then go off stage, and that's everything is done for me. And that's not really how it works anymore. So yeah,
that's definitely interesting. So I mean, cool. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview. It's really, really cool. Disambiguation is out currently right now. You can pick it up. Or you can listen to them play, and was you guys going like 8 or something like that, 9? We're going 9:50. But if you're not lucky like us, you won't be able to hear it live. So you can check out monsterbox.com. We have exclusive pictures, videos, everything you need to know about Underoath. So I guess Karacell, I'm going to go watch the show now. That's it.